I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
I thank you, Mr. President. We would like to call on delegations to vote against amendments L90 and L92 presented by Brazil and in the United Kingdom. I'll explain why. These amendments are not constructive. They are aimed at undermining the process of developing a convention. The amendment of Brazil sets down the requirement of a two-thirds majority in order to reach decisions in the ad hoc committee. This means that a small group of states, for example, the group that just spoke, gets the possibility of basically blocking the work of these ad hoc committee. Furthermore, according to the Brazilian amendment, the decision-making procedure in the decision-making procedure, the bureau of the ad hoc committee is granted a special role in this process, which is unprecedented, in fact, including the procedure B, B, and J, to which the distinguished representative of Brazil referred to, if we are speaking about the role of the bureau. And yet the text of the Russian Federation simply envisions the rules and regulations of the General Assembly to be applicable. What does that mean concretely? It means that decisions can be adopted both by consensus as well as simple majority, as well as two-thirds majority, depending on the specific matter in question. We are all well informed about how the rules and procedures of the General Assembly operate. Furthermore, in our compromise draft, we specifically stress the need to take all necessary measures to reach consensus. I would also like to mention something else. The elements in the Brazilian amendment were initially promoted by delegations who were against the idea of establishing an ad hoc committee and voted against creating that committee. So in that connection, I have to assume that the amendment tabled is not meant to improve the modalities of work of the ad hoc committee. In fact, its aim is to complicate the process of developing a convention. As for the amendment of the United Kingdom, in the draft resolution we presented, it contains a consensus language on the participation of non-governmental organizations. So it was language which was adopted last time by the General Assembly by consensus. The amendment of the UK proposes a new procedure. So, in fact, it proposes a vote, a de facto vote on the issue of participation by NGOs. So, I would return the criticism aimed at me by the UK colleague. I would return it and aim it back at him. It is quite surprising that delegations which initially stressed the need for the ad hoc committee to take decisions by consensus, in this case, in fact, are proposing a voting procedure for the participation of observers in ad hoc committee sessions. As for the CARICOM amendment, we note that this amendment in many ways corresponds to the initial draft resolution, version of the draft resolution, which the Russian Federation circulated in the ad hoc committee. So that amendment, I think, deserves broad support. Thank you very much.
I thank the distinguished representative of the Russian Federation, and